to the Who Dat Nation, and welcome to the Dome Patrol podcast, your podcast for the New Orleans Saints here on the KB Radio Network. And we have just went final on week 14 of the NFL season, and our New Orleans Saints finally come out victorious as they defeat the lowly Carolina Panthers by the score of 28-6. Bringing the Saints' overall season record to 6-7 going forward. This game was so hard to watch. I'm sitting here, I'm sitting here trying to dissect this game and figure out a way to break it down to all of you. I really can't. I really can't, because for those outside of the viewing audience who didn't watch the game and you just looked at the final score, you're like, oh man, the Saints destroyed the Carolina Panthers. That's not the case. That's not the case. Don't get fooled by that score. This was a struggle all the way to the fourth quarter. And Carolina remembered who they were. And the Saints just took advantage of a couple of things that went their way. But this was horrible, honest to God. I am so frustrated with this team. And to keep it consistent on how I was feeling throughout this season, this is a horrible, horrible team. And I know we won today. I fully acknowledge that we won the game today. But we beat a 1-12 team. Well, they're 1-12 now. But we beat a one-win team. And we struggled against this one-win team. You realize in the first half of this game, there was 58 passing yards between the two quarterbacks in this game. 58. Now, okay, it was a defensive struggle. Okay, I can buy that. But the two quarterbacks in this game couldn't be more night and day. One is a rookie. I can understand that. The other one is a 10-year veteran. And you look at the numbers in that first half. Actually, you look at the numbers at the end of this game, you're going to be like, huh? It was that bad. This game set quarterback play back about 20 years. This was the worst quarterback play I've seen between two quarterbacks. Now, I've seen bad quarterback play and the other quarterback will look good in any game. And it didn't have to be the Saints, but just in general. But today, both quarterbacks were horrible. But I'll still say you can excuse Bryce Young to an extent. One, he's a rookie. Two, he has an interim head coach. Three, he has zero weapons surrounding him. I mean, zero weapons surrounding him. And what were you expecting him to do? So none of that shocked me. And I shouldn't be shocked by Derek Carr play. I really shouldn't. Derek Carr just isn't a good quarterback. They're just straight up. He is not a good quarterback. And the coaching staff, they're not very smart. This is not a good team. This just is not a good team. Defensively, they played their behinds off today. That first half, I think we got 2 turnovers in that first half, and Saints offense couldn't do anything with it. Alvin Kamara, God bless him. Alvin Kamara, he came to play. He came to play, but they stopped running the ball with Alvin Kamara. It's like, what are y'all doing? You get in the red zone and you went away from him. I could not wrap my head around it. I did not understand. It was just dumb play call after dumb play call. And all I could do was just laugh. I couldn't even get mad at this point. All I could do is laugh. But I will say this, the turning point in this game was, I want to say late in the third quarter. Maybe it was beginning of the fourth quarter. I can't remember exactly when this moment took place, but it was a 3-and-out. Derek Carr had took a sack, and Eric McCoy, I think it was. Eric McCoy went off on Derek Carr. I don't know if Derek Carr told him something about blocking or whatever the case may be. Oh, I don't know what it was, but Eric McCoy had to be held back. He was coming for he was coming at Derek Carr. And I don't know what he told him, but from that moment on, Derek Carr got his mind right. Derek Carr was actually playing good after that. I don't know what Eric McCoy told him, but my God, he needs to tell him that before every game. Maybe we might do something. But it was it was very telling, and it really changed the course of the game. Jimmy Graham came in the game, and wouldn't you know it, guess what happened, people? Jimmy Graham caught another touchdown. He has 4 catches this season, 4 catches, 3 of them are touchdowns. Unbelievable. And the one that he didn't score on set up the Chris Olave score. So he played a hand in all of the points, at least that he's associated with whenever he touches the field. But yeah, the Saints are 6-7. They're once again in a 3-way tie for first place in the South, being as though the Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat the Falcons today. So we're in the midst of a division run, which is it shouldn't be. It God knows it shouldn't be. Once again, nobody is above 500 in this division. Unbelievable. But the New Orleans Saints ended their 3-game losing streak with a 28-6 victory over the Panthers. The win improves them to 6-7 and drops Carolina to 1-12. The Saints are in second place right now in the NFC South. The Saints got contributions in all 3 units to get the win. Running back Alvin Kamara scored first on a 9-yard touchdown run. Then linebacker DeMarco Jackson teamed up on special teams after a block punt. He scooped it up and scored. Wide receiver Chris Olave scored in the 4th quarter on a 7-yard reception from Derek Carr with 6 minutes left to play. And tight end Jimmy Graham sealed it with a 4-yard touchdown catch, his 3rd of the season. The defense was outstanding all game against the pass, keeping number 1 overall pick Bryce Young in check. He was 13 for 36 for 137 yards. The Saints, who moved past 100,000 yards rushing in franchise history in the first half, were solid running the ball with Kamara, who had 12 carries for 56 yards, and Jamal Williams, who had 11 carries for 46 yards. The passing game, on the other hand, struggled. Derek Carr hit A.T. Perry on a 43-yard pass to set up the Olave touchdown. Derek Carr, who was knocked out of the last week's game with multiple injuries, including a concussion, finished today with 18 completions on 26 attempts, 114 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Demario Davis recorded his 1,300th tackle in his career on a sack on Bryce Young and shared another one late in the 4th quarter. Defensive end Carl Granderson also had a sack. The victory was the franchise's 200th under the leadership of general manager Mickey Loomis. The Saints will host the New York Giants next week in the Superdome. The Giants are currently 4-8, and we will catch them coming off of a short week because they will take on the Green Bay Packers this Monday night on ESPN. Let's break down the team stats, beginning with the first downs. The Carolina Panthers had 16 first downs today, 4 by passing, 11 by rushing, and 1 by penalty. The New Orleans Saints had 14 first downs today, 8 by passing, 5 by rushing, and 1 by penalty. On third downs, the Carolina Panthers were 8 for 20 on third down. Saints were 3 for 10 on third down. On fourth downs, the Carolina Panthers were 1 for 7 on fourth down today. Saints never went for it on fourth. Total plays, Carolina ran 79 total plays to the Saints 52. That is super lopsided. I, that is very lopsided. Normally, you want to see it even, but it is what it is. Total yardage: Carolina Panthers had 303 total yards to the Saints 207. Total drives: Carolina had 12 drives to the Saints 11. Yards per play: Carolina gained 3.8 yards per play to the Saints 4 yards per play. Passing: Carolina had 99 yards passing to the Saints 110. Rushing: Carolina had 204 yards rushing today to the Saints 97. Ugh. Red zone efficiency: in the red zone, Carolina were 0 for 2 in the red zone. Saints were 3 for 4. Not bad. Penalties in this game: it was relatively a clean game today. Carolina had 4 penalties for 27 yards. Saints had 3 penalties for 30 yards. Carolina had 2 turnovers to the Saints 1. Time of possession: Carolina had the ball for 34 minutes and 50 seconds. Saints had the ball for 25 minutes and 10 seconds. Our leaders today, starting with the passing leaders for the Carolina Panthers, it was Bryce Young, 13 for 36, 137 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. He was sacked 4 times today. Derek Carr, he was 18 for 26, 119 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. He was sacked once today. Leading rusher for the Carolina Panthers was Chuba Hubbard, 23 carries for 87 yards. For the New Orleans Saints, it was Alvin Kamara with 12 carries for 56 yards and a touchdown. Leading receiver for the Carolina Panthers today was Adam Thielen. He had 5 catches for 74 yards. For the New Orleans Saints, it was A.T. Perry. Off of 1 catch, he had 44 yards. He was the leading receiver today. That goes to show you how bad the quarterback play was today. Now, going into the grades for today, we know that after every Saints game, we grade the offense, defense, special teams, and coaching to round it all off to get an overall grade for the Saints' performance in the Dome in their victory over the Carolina Panthers. Starting with the offense, the New Orleans Saints offense today gets a C. I am so underwhelmed with this offense. Words cannot express. There is no, and I mean no, fire from this offense other than Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara is the one shining light on this offense, somebody who I look at every game, and I can tell he comes to play. He gives it his all. And we have a quarterback that is trash. We have a offensive coordinator who is trash, and it's not working for those fellas, man. There was no reason why this game wasn't over at halftime. This game should have been over at halftime. I mean, multiple opportunities in that first half to really just dominate this team, because this is what the Saints needed. They needed a dominant performance. Now, like I said, on the outside looking in, and you look at the score, you're like, man, what more can you ask for? No, watch that game. It was 14-3 in both halves. That's how it came up to that score. It was not a good game for the New Orleans Saints at all, as far as their offense is concerned. Very, very concerning. And I don't know. There's no way to fix it. Let's just put it plainly. There's no way to fix it other than the fact you're getting rid of Carr and changing offensive coordinators. That's it. Those are your 2 bugaboos there. I mean, you have offensive linemen ready to rip his throat out coming off the field. When have you ever seen that? That says a lot right there. You have Jimmy Graham, who every time he gets on the field, he's a difference maker. But for some strange reason, you don't put him on the field. They make it so hard. Jonathan Vilma, who was calling this game for Fox, he was echoing everybody's sentiments out there. He was saying, like, man, they are making this game harder than what it has to be. And they really did. And You play any other team other than a 1-11 team that has pretty much packed it in for the season, you lose this game. You lose this game. So offense gets a C, defense gets a B plus. Defense played real good against this rookie quarterback. They did what they were supposed to do. They blitzed them. There was a lot of blitzing today, and they were supposed to. They made Bryce Young uncomfortable, knowing good and well he doesn't have any weapons on the outside. It was. I feel bad for Bryce Young. I really do. My sentiments to the Carolina Panthers fan base, because they don't have nothing around this kid, and he is going to have a short tenure in the NFL if it continues to go like this in Carolina. But defense looked real good today. They get a B plus. Special teams gets a B. Blake Groupie missed that field goal earlier. It's debatable. Was it the holder who didn't have the laces out? I don't know, but that was a bad miss. I mean, it was ugly when it left his foot. But to be fair, he's been missing off and on this entire season. But we did get that block punt for a touchdown, which was pretty awesome. That was a good play call at that point of the game. Because that kind of changed the course of the game, because momentum was kind of starting to shift towards the Carolina Panthers. And so we needed that. Good call on special teams. Our coaching gets a B minus. I think the coaching had a good game plan going into this game. It was a matter of execution and other factors that kind of took this game to another level. I mean, I'm looking at Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen can't even challenge a play right. He didn't get the challenge flag out in time. You know, it's simple stuff like that just irks me. I don't think he would have won that challenge anyway, but man, it was just stupid stuff. The dude just coaching gets a B minus. Overall today, the New Orleans Saints as a whole, they put up a C plus performance. I thought it was decent against a team that you should have just wiped the floor with, but you made it a game all the way to the fourth quarter. It was actually a game. It was a one possession game. I'll say midway through the fourth, and I mean, it shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have been. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, man, we about to lose. I really did. I thought we was going to lose this game, but the Carolina Panthers remembered who they were, and so luckily for us, they did. Who gets the game ball and who has to sit in the corner? Today, the game ball goes to Alvin Kamara. I think Alvin Kamara proved today that he is a leader on this team. He is the bell cow of this team. He is the playmaker on this team. Alvin Kamara had 12 carries for 56 yards and a touchdown today. Not blowing you out of the water type numbers, but as far as leadership, I think it really showed that he was there. He was willing to give it all for this team. And you know, there's other pieces there. Demario Davis had an awesome game today. Jimmy Graham had an awesome game today. But I just think as a leader of the team, the man with the C on his jersey, he needs to come out there and play lights out every time he touched the field. And Alvin Kamara definitely did that. Who has to sit in the corner? Derek Carr. I can't deal with this level of quarterback play. Honestly, man, I can't tell who was the rookie out there. I really couldn't, because Bryce Young looked more poised than Derek Carr. Derek Carr looks like he'd rather be anywhere else in the world than in that Superdome wearing that jersey. I mean, he does not give any energy, any fire. The team just isn't responding to him. I don't care what Mickey Loomis and Dennis Allen say. They don't like this dude. This team does not like this dude. The fan base does not like this dude, because they see that we're not going anywhere with him. Nowhere. Now, Dennis Allen and Mickey Loomis are going to sit there and cheat for him because they paying him $150 million. So they don't want to look like a fool. But unfortunately, they look like fools. I don't care what they say. And I saw the little locker room after the game, Mickey Loomis in the locker room and they all cheering and all this here. Y'all beat a 1-12 team. Miss me with all that. This isn't nothing to cheer about, man. Y'all struggled in this game. I don't want to hear about it's a division game. Oh, they know us and all. No, man. This is no. I don't know. They just struck a nerve with me with that. They struck a serious nerve with me with that. But in any event, Derek Carr has to sit in the corner. This is a team that my cousin was telling me. My cousin told me during the game, he like, man, how many more games we got this season? And we got 4 more weeks of this. We have to bear witness to this bunfoolery, man. This is horrible. This is some horrible Saints football. I actually compare it to pre Jim Haslett days. I want to go Mike Dicker ever of football. This is how bad it is. Y'all remember when Mike Dicker was the coach here? We had Danny Wolfle. That's the quarterback. It was horrible back then. Horrible. And I feel similar vibes from that. This is a horrible football team. And yet and still, we won today, people. So it is a who that type of Sunday. But my God, bro, I don't see any hope. I wanted to see some hope from this. That's why I was saying in the preview episode to this game that this game needed to be a dominant performance from the Saints. I needed to see some dominance on the field. I didn't see that. And it gave me no hope for the future. Now, we have the Giants coming in here. The Giants are a struggling team. But honestly, if we play like we played today against the Giants, we lose. I'm going to stick by that. We play any other team other than the Carolina Panthers today, we lose that game. That's how bad. You know how bad Derek Carr looked in that first half? Jeez. It was embarrassing to watch. Man, the dude didn't even have, I don't think he had 30 yards passing in that first half. This is $150 million quarterback. Nah. But hey, the bright side, we won the game. Saints are 6-7. We have 5 more games? Is it 5? Because we have the Giants, Rams, Tampa, and Atlanta. Yeah, 4 more games. And so, out of those 4, can the Saints run the table? I'm gonna say no. I think the Rams might get them. I just saw that the Rams lost in overtime. So, but the Rams are a good team. They brought the Ravens, pushed them to the limit. So I would imagine that they can beat this team. I'm not confident about the Giants game, to be honest with you. So, hey, I don't think we can run the table. Now, honestly, I don't think we can. But we shall see. I'm just gonna. I'm gonna soak in this victory. It's been a long time since I got one. That's why I don't know how to act right now. This is our first win in a month. We haven't won anything. And so I'm gonna soak this in. I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna celebrate it for about 2 or 3 days, and then it's on to New York. So who that to that. I would like to know, what do you think about the Saints moving forward? Do you think the Saints have any chance of winning this division, possibly getting into the playoffs and making some noise? I ain't gonna say a run, but make some noise. Is there any chance for that? I would like to know. I would love to know, what did you see in this game that you feel confident moving forward? I saw nothing. I saw nothing that gave me any confidence moving forward from this squad. Contact the show by email, kbradiopodcast@gmail.com. You can also contact the show on social media. Just search for the KB Radio Network on all social media platforms. Also, I'm on YouTube. Search for the KB Radio Network channel. Subscribe and like this video if you don't mind as well. Don't forget about the 5 stars, the reviews, and sharing this show. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you are currently listening to the Dome Patrol here on the KB Radio Network. Everybody, we won. We won today. Let's take a breath. We got that monkey off our back. Can't wait to speak to you next week when we discuss the upcoming matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the New York Football Giants. Until then, I'm going to be screaming through the streets, "Who dat?"